Myth 5, you should put your child first. This myth is rooted in expectation. There are so many concepts that can tie into this myth. One big one is that our teen needs to be a certain way in order to fit into society's standards of what it means to be productive and successful. These standards value competition and comparison and have sustained this notion that it is our role as parents to ensure that they meet these standards, and if they don't, somehow we've done a bad job. How many parents do you know that are stressed out, running from activity to activity, and share how exhausted they are? Or the parents that have a standard for their teen to excel academically to get into college, yet these parents are stressed throughout the entirety of their teen's high school experience. When we over-focus on our teen and prioritize for them what they need to do, not only do we start to pave the path for resentment, we set the expectation that our teen is not good enough if they don't meet these standards. Resentment gets fueled by the lack of appreciation we feel from our teen, especially after we've been doing everything in our power to support their short-term and long-term successes, and it breeds disconnect because we're pushing standards on our teens. All the while, as parents, we are overwhelmed and we're exhausted. But what if we allowed our teens to spontaneously choose their own path? For starters, we wouldn't have to carry this false sense of selflessness around, signaling to others that we're good parents. And second, we would draw honest and healthy boundaries around what we want for our children, while also differentiating where we end as parents and where our teen begins. Here's the helpful parenting tip which moves away from expectation and aligns with spontaneity. I want you to take inventory. Think about all the different ways you have sacrificed or maybe even neglected your own needs, wants, or desires, and instead focus your attention and energy on your teen by putting them first. Here's a list of questions you can answer yes or no to. These questions are not meant to be exhaustive, so be sure to add additional sacrifices you may have made. I've put the questions into different categories with 4 questions under each one. Let's start with work and career. Have you ever said no to a promotion or put a work project on hold? Stayed home to be a full-time parent instead of entering or returning to the workforce? Put off going to school or other training that could or would support a career goal? Worked after hours or late into the night once your teen is sleeping so you can be hands-on during the day? Health and fitness is our next category. Have you found yourself skipping the gym or other workouts? Find yourself standing and eating meals, forgetting to eat, or scarfing food down? Saying I don't have time to anything that would support your health, such as scheduling doctor's appointments? Said no to nap even though you've been beyond exhausted and overly fatigued? Next, relationships and friendships. Has your romantic or significant other relationship or partnership taken a back seat? Find yourself saying no to hanging out or going out with your friends? Feeling selfish and or guilty if you take time to meet friends or enjoy time outside the home? Ignoring phone calls because you're too busy to answer the phone, yet you so badly want to catch up? Now for financial. Put financial resources toward your teen that had been originally saved for you. Said yes to buying something for your teen, yet feeling a sense of resentment tied to the purchase, either in the moment of buying or after the purchase. Finding yourself not investing in yourself in whatever way that looks like. Maybe it's a new pair of shoes or concert tickets. Worked overtime even though you're burned out and didn't necessarily need to put in the extra hours. Hobbies and adventure is the next category. Is there something new you want to learn yet haven't made time for? Said I can't to travel because it would pull you away from your kids, or because there's too much to do, or maybe too many responsibilities that would then create more stress when you arrived back home? Completely stop doing a hobby or activity that you used to enjoy? Find yourself saying, where would I find time for that? Or stressing about all the things you would have to do to set up and coordinate if you did invest in yourself? Here are some additional questions to consider. Do you do things for your teen that they can do for themselves? Or have you ever dropped a commitment to do something for your teen? Do you carve out time to engage in practices that keep you grounded and balanced? Do you find time for a spiritual practice that has been a source of support or empowerment? Do you refuse to ask for help because you believe that you need to do it all yourself?